Yo, Toe, what it do? It's the good brother Biz by Josh coming at y'all live and direct. Welcome to another episode of the Neighborhood Socialpreneur. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Really quick, y'all. So, I just wanted to make a video regarding some of the different shifts that we're going to be doing regarding some of the content that we're going to be making on here. Just because I feel like, again, I was going off the cuff in the last video, and I want to do a better job of streamlining the content and streamlining the videos so that way you just get maximum value from them and you not just listen to me ramble for like 20 minutes. So for me, I just want to come on here and basically say kind of like the direction in which we're going to be going moving forward, right? So I'm going to be looking over here, just kind of reading off some of the stuff that we plan on doing. And then, yeah, hopefully as the channel starts to unfold a bit more, we'll be able to do, more things. And, it'll be a nice video to be able to go back and reflect on. Excuse me. Hopefully, you know what I mean? Provided that, we stay consistent, we do what we got to do. So, with that being said, as I was saying in the previous video, we have a lot of different ideas that are going to be coming about. Prior to this shift in the channel, it was primarily me just talking about my own personal life and kind of some of the things that I was thinking about and like self-help, self-development, things of that nature. I'm be honest, again, just a quick recap from the last video. One of the reasons why I pivoted from that was because one, I just need to go and do some soul searching and actually go and, speak with the creator, speak with my creator, and figure out exactly what the direction was or what the direction was going to be. And also, I wanted to have something that was going to really provide some value. You know what I mean? And I say this with all due respect, but there's a lot of people who create self-help, self-development content. And from the people that I see, right, I'm gonna be diplomatic and political here. I feel like a lot of people do a phenomenal job with it. I just personally did not want that to be my lane, right? Because then it's like you have to start getting into like the spiritual components, and then like you kind of get, there's a certain level of branding and, pigeonholing this, for lack of better words, where you get kind of typecasted into that type of content. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's the direction that you want to go. That's simply not the direction that I want to approach, right? So, with that being said, we're going to be speaking more on, financial content as well as, just how people can actually be growing business wise, right? Like I called myself Biz by Josh. I need to do a better job of talking about the business components of life and how they could actually reflect in your daily life and how you can actually get your money up, how you can actually go and start a business, successful businesses that have been started, business models that you should be able to follow, right? Like ultimately, we want to do a better job of creating. And when I say we, I mean I want to do a better job of creating content that is not only cool but also actionable, right? Because it's like it's all well and good if I say, hey, this is the business that say Oprah Winfrey or Robert F. Smith or Aquilo Dancote like have, and this is what they do. But while it's cool and it's aspirational to be able to see that from just that being in the zeitgeist, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is achievable for the average human being, right? Or for the typical life living human being on a day to day basis, right? And it's not saying anybody's better than anybody, but it's just simply a accumulation of resources, asset classes, opportunity costs. Like there's just so many different things, right? So with that being said, we want to do a better job of being able to speak to the things that are, actionable, but also cool, right? We want this to be a platform where people are going to be learning and then also be growing. Like I want people to look back 5, 10 years from now when we're still doing this and say, hey, I remember watching this in 2025 and 2026 and it's 2035 now and I'm a millionaire because I was following some of the things that we heard Josh say or that we heard somebody on this channel say. And that's really ultimately the goal, right? For us to build each other up. So that's something that we definitely want to do a better job of, right? Let's see, what else? Again, I kind of touched upon all of this, but breaking down business models that actually work, right? There's a lot of noise in the industries right now, okay? There's a lot of noise in every single industry, whether you're looking at, anything as, slow moving as like telecommunications to anything as fast paced as like tech to anything as accessible as like social media content, right? A lot of people have a lot of things that they promote and they're almost like borderline pyramid schemes, right? I'm one of those people who I pride myself on being a universal hustler. I've done everything from flipping desk chairs on OfferUp to, striving to sell insurance. You know what I mean? And it's like I've done everything in between. I'm telling y'all, and I can tell you most of the stuff is really a scam. So we're gonna get into like some of the business models, why they don't necessarily work, just so that way, and why some of them do. I want to actually put that out, why they do and don't work. But we're gonna approach it from a vantage point of real factual information, data, so that way you can understand, hey, this is why this works. This is how we could get this to work. Right? We don't want to just like, I don't want to just throw a bunch of emotion at y'all. I want y'all to actually see like, okay, these are the fact patterns that exist within the actual atmosphere of which we occupy. So that's that goal. Let's see. Another thing is we want to highlight community first leadership, right? So one of the reasons why this channel has been called the Neighborhood Socialpreneur, mainly this was a term. Excuse me. Let me get some water really quick. Let me cover the label though. No free promo. So again, excuse me. One of the reasons why we ended up calling this channel the Neighborhood Socialpreneur is mainly because we wanted to be able to highlight entrepreneurs who are not only getting money but are also having a positive impact on the communities in which they occupy, right? Whether that's on the local level, whether that's on the state level, whether that's on a national level, or international, global. We wanted to highlight folks who are not only getting money but are also positively impacting people as well, right? So with that being said, expect to see interviews, right? Expect to see, us getting a chance to speak with some local business leaders. Plan on doing some traveling over the next couple of years to be able to meet with some folks as well, right? That hasn't been fully lined up yet, but we're planning on making some stuff happen. And I'm going to be making some calls to a lot of my friends, and even people who are not my friends yet, but will soon be my friends. And hopefully we'll be able to get all of that lined up. At the very least, we definitely want to get some good quality interviews. So that way, again, we could trace back what actually works in business, right? And, again, like really just third, I want to say really just exploring impact without, a lot of like the hot takes and the noise of it all, right? Like, so if anything, we want to figure out how to break down business models that actually work. We want to highlight community first leadership, and we want to explore making impact, like real verifiable, traceable impact. Mainly because, excuse me, ultimately, again, there's just a lot of noise in the world, y'all. And rather than actually be a person who is adding to it, we want to try to simplify this as much as possible, right? If this last year off of, social media has taught me anything, is that consistency is everything. And doing very simple things for a long period of time is a lot better than doing super complicated things for a short period of time. That's just the truth. So for me, that's really going to be the focus. Again, we want to make this cool, but we want to make this actionable for people, right? So, we're going to be talking about news. We're going to be talking about updates. Are we going to get into, you know, political hemisphere and news? And are you going to be getting a lot of my own opinions within this work? I'm going to do my best to keep a lot of that out, right? Mainly just because I want to create a space for the truth to exist and not just my opinion, right? Even if my opinion is the truth, just because it's my truth doesn't mean it's the truth, right? So, with that being said, we're going to be talking about certain topics. All I ask moving forward in the comment section and repost or anything, let's just keep it respectful. Let's just keep it G. Let's learn. And, if we have to have some type of civil discourse, let's have a civil discourse. But again, let's keep it respectful. Remember, we all are somebody child. All right, like that's all I ask. of everybody in the space. We're all somebody childlike. So we all got a mama somewhere. All right, just remember that. So with that being said, that's really what we want to focus on building moving forward. I felt like I had to come on and make a part two for this really quick just because, again, I don't feel like I did a great job of speaking to this in the previous video just because I was kind of saying the reasons why I was away. And even then, I didn't go too in depth. Like, I'll probably go in depth about that a bit later at at a different point in time. However, I just want to come on and just make this additional video. And also, I missed y'all. I missed coming on here and actually, speaking and talking that talk. So, hopefully for whoever ends up watching this, I appreciate y'all. I got a little stain right here. That's crazy. I gotta get some stuff for this, man. But, again, I just want to come on here. So I appreciate y'all. Continue to keep doing what you're doing. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you want to hear about more in the comments. Again, we're going to just start pumping more of these videos out as time goes on. With that being said, I appreciate you. One love, one life. Peace.